Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, September 7th. Feels like the light switch went off and we went from summer to fall, right? Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. I know it's if you have children in the school district, it's craziness going on right now. Let's just hope that they get all of this resolved as quickly as possible. I don't understand why this couldn't have been done earlier when you knew you had the need, but you know, it's a mess. Anyway, let's go on and talk about writing. We are what we're looking to do by the end of this lesson. What I would like for you to be able to do is distinguish a good argument. So we're still talking about our argument papers. We're toward the end of the lessons, and then we'll be starting back over. And so these are higher level skills. If you're just coming in right now, don't worry. We will get back to it. So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen. So this is basically what we're talking about, right? In an argument, sometimes if you have this kind of situation where both sides feel they're right, you have to have a good, solid argument with credible evidence. So to begin, let's take a look at our good evidence checklist. What makes for good evidence? Your evidence is relevant, meaning that it has a relationship to your subject. The evidence supports the claim, and the evidence is the closest, best possible to support the claim. It is the best, closest, and this evidence supports my response to the question or the task that you've been given. So that's what makes good evidence. Let's take a look now, and this is a short lesson at choosing relevant evidence for an argument essay. So let's look at the worksheet. And I always like to make it bigger, as big as possible, so you can read it. And let's go up to the directions. And it says, when crafting an argument, it's important to choose evidence that supports your claim. When supporting evidence, it should be number one, relevant, meaning related to the argument you are making and supporting your specific claim. And it should be reliable, coming from a reliable source. It must be trustworthy, it must come from an expert, and it must be true. So when we are evaluating information to write a paper or to decide whether or not to choose a course of action when we're in the middle of a pandemic, the information that you evaluate should be relevant and credible. So let's take a look at the directions. It says, the following activity, you will practice selecting relevant and credible evidence. For each sentence, choose the best piece of supporting evidence. That's right, meaning there is supporting evidence there, but what you want to do is choose the best. Here's the claim. Students should be able to chew gum because it helps them to concentrate. Now, we're looking for the best piece of supporting evidence. A, I personally like to chew gum and I don't find it distracting. B, middle school students are responsible enough to throw away their gum so it won't cause a mess on campus. Or C, according to the British Psychological Society, gum can help you stay focused on longer tasks. The claim is students should be able to chew gum because it helps them concentrate. So what we want to do is to find the relevant argument that is related to the argument and supports this claim, and that it comes from a reliable source, that it is trustworthy, and it comes from an expert. And last, but not least, most importantly, it must be true. It must be true. So I think the best answer would be C. According to the British Psychological Society, gum can help you stay focused and on longer tasks. Since they are experts, we're assuming they've done research. They found it to be relevant, and we're also assuming that it's true. So C would be our best guess on this one. Let's look at the second claim. School uniforms promote better behavior among students. According to Lands' End, a company that makes uniforms, am I trusting Lands' End? Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. According to Lands' End, a company that makes uniforms, there is no better way to improve a school than to adopt a uniform policy. B, in one study conducted by the University of Nevada, a middle school noted a 10% drop in discipline referrals the year it adopted school uniforms. And C, 90% of the students in the University of Nevada study said they didn't like uniforms. But what was our claim? Our claim is that school uniforms promote better behavior. So, which of these pieces of evidence support our claim that uniforms lead to better behavior? In one study by the University of Nevada experts, a middle school noted a middle school noticed a 10% drop in discipline referrals the year it adopted uniforms. And then C was the students don't like uniforms. Well, maybe that's true. However, if we're saying that it affected the discipline, which is we're talking about better behaviors, 10% less kids going to the principal. So they're saying maybe it's a relationship, maybe it is. So let's look at the next one. Let's see how many questions there are because I do want you to have some to complete. Well, you know what? There are only 4. So I'm going to stop at number 2, have you do the last 2. And as always, you have an answer key. So that's all we have for this first lesson, how to pick relevant evidence. And I'll see you in just a few minutes for second part of our writing block. Take care.